What's up, guys? Welcome to the Behind the Golf Brand podcast. This week, I have two of my good friends from SkyTrak. The new SkyTrak ST Plus just came out. It's taking the world by storm right now, and I'm really excited to have both Jordan Vogler and Seth Frack from SkyTrak to talk about the new SkyTrak Plus, about the history of SkyTrak, kind of where they're going and what they're doing, and just kind of get you guys know more about them. So welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us
Pleasure to be here, Paul. Thank you.
So where are you guys located at?
Our office is in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Nice. That's a nice place to be. I mean, it's like lots of good golf around there.
Absolutely.
Yes. Pinehurst is literally 45 minutes to an hour from here. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good golf around here.
Yeah, I would love to play golf. I would love to go there. I got invited to go to an event at Pinehurst later this year, and I'm like really excited. Because I think it's cool to go.
Is it summertime?
I don't know what it is. No, it's like, I think in the fall. It's like October.
So I love Pinehurst. It's probably my favorite area for golf, but summertime, it is miserable because it's called Pinehurst for a reason because there's so many pine trees. So if it's 95 degrees, there's going to be no air, no wind.
Oh, really?
You're going to be baking in about 95-degree weather for 4 or 5 hours. So it's a different animal in the summertime, but fall, you should be good.
So let me ask this question. Are you guys golf professionals? Like, are you pros? I always ask that question to everybody who comes on the show.
No, I'm not a PGA pro. I'm a GolfTEC certified coach. And prior to SkyTrak, I taught professionally, but I wasn't a PGA pro.
What about you, Seth?
I'm anything but that. Definitely not. No, they take me out. I could drink a beer in the golf course, find my ball every once in a while. Just like to have fun.
He's a good putter, though.
Yeah, that's me. He's a good putter. He's like, I'm really good at miniature golf, but so Jordan was telling me, Seth, you've been to SkyTrak for like a really long time.
That's right. Yeah, I was here actually when it was AccuSport. That was when we made the vector launch system.
What year was that?
I think I started just prior to releasing it, which I think was 2002.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's been,
you've been there since the beginning.
Over 20 years. Yeah. Absolute beginning.
So what is your background then? Are you like an engineer? Are you a software guy? Like what?
No, a really funny story. So I was actually at the North Carolina School of the Arts here, and I did an internship with a PR agency downtown, and that was during the summer. And so I was back in school, and I think it was like November, December, I got an email from the PR agency asking if I could go help out with this golf company to hit golf balls because they were testing this new device called a launch monitor. And I was like, sure, I can whale on golf balls for 2 weeks. And so that's what they'd asked me to come hit golf balls for 2 weeks. So I started showing up, hit golf balls for 8 hours a day, testing the original vector. And that was just prior to the, I guess, 2003 PGA show where they unveiled the vector launch system. And after that 2 weeks, they never asked me to stop coming to work. So
really,
I just kept showing up, and 20 years later, here I am.
So you were working at the PR firm, and then really like SkyTrak, or I guess who owned it? Accu something.
Yeah. This PR company was doing the PR for AccuSport, and found they needed somebody to do some quick testing before the PGA show. And so they just kind of thought of me, I guess, and was happy to do it.
So I didn't even know what the AccuSport even was until you just like said that. And like, I'm trying to pull it up right now. Dude, that thing is big. That thing, that looks like I'm going to pull it up so people can see it. It looks like a cinder block.
Absolutely. Yep.
So is that considered like the original like launch monitor? Because I don't know if anybody really had anything like before that, right?
It was really one of the first. Prior to that, this was before I started, but the product offering before that from AccuSport was a product called AccuShot, and it was where they go out into driving ranges and bury like thousands of sensors out in the ground. And
really,
it would track based on, and each of these sensors had microphones, and it would track impact location and rollout location based on sound and relay that back to this like huge kiosk. And it just wasn't a feasible system for a driving range one to be able to afford. But I think the number one killer of it was squirrels eating the microphone cables out in the range. Yeah. So they decided they needed something a little more portable. And
all right, so check this out. Here's what it looks like. You guys, you know what it looks like.
That's like, the Vector Pro. That's the second generation.
The second.
The first one looks even more like a cinder block.
All right, hold on. I gotta find it now. Oh, is it this one? Hold on. This is a bad picture, but maybe it's. Hold on. Is this it right here? Hold on. You guys gotta see this. This thing's like pretty amazing. Vector launch monitor. I'll just show the damn screen. Who cares? All right. So which one is it? Is it this one?
Oh, yeah, the very first one. Yep.
Look at that thing, dude. It's like a boombox.
It does. Looks like an 80s boombox.
It looks like a Nintendo. So that was the very first one that was out there, though, right? Because before that, you said they put things in the ground and they were trying to
so you can kind of see the progression on the top there. So that first one there is a vector launch system.
Yeah. Were there like cameras in here, I'm assuming, or something? Like
those are strobe lights in the corner. Cameras in the center. Yep. And so about 5 years after that, we released Vector Pro, which is the one to the right of it.
Which is that one.
Big bank of LED lights and 2 cameras.
That's crazy. So you started there. They were trying to test this out to see if it worked, right? And then so then what happened? So you're there for 2 weeks, and then you just they offered you a job to hit balls, or what?
Yeah, there was a period of time where they didn't say all right, your time's up, or thanks for coming. Where I just kept showing up to work and hitting golf balls, and then eventually it was oh, we've got this guy working here named Seth. So. Yeah, and so I just kind of progressed around different departments.
What were you doing? What were your different roles as you started there? Were you a tester, or were you doing what were you doing?
Started hit testing, then they asked if I wanted to go to production because we produce all of those from the raw circuit boards in house. So
shut up, really?
They had me soldering with a microscope, and so I was in production for a while. Then moved on to repair. Then they needed a shipping manager for a while, did that, then ended up in customer support for 5 years.
So how big was the company when you started with them?
Because we did all the production in-house, there was about 50 of us.
Because SkyTrak is the OG of launch monitors. They're the original, right?
Well, the Vector was, yeah. And so it progressed from Vector. Then we went to Vector Pro, where we stopped manufacturing in-house. Then we went to Vector X. And that's kind of the point where we realized, this market is so saturated. Because back at that time, pretty much the only people that started or that would use launch monitors were high-end professionals or custom club fitters. And the market
what did it sell for? What was the Vector cost?
I think it was around. I think it started out around 4,000, and then it ended up around 2,000. Vector Pro, I think, was 3,000, and then same with Vector X.
And those are there was no flight scope, right?
Flight scope did have an offering at that time.
Oh, did they?
Yep. But like I said, by the time we got to Vector X, the market was so saturated that everybody who was going to have one already had one. And
they don't need another one, right? At that point,
exactly.
Software.
And so we're where do we go from this? So we took, I think it was around 2012, we just took a step back and said, we need to target the consumer. We need to figure out how to make a launch monitor that's affordable and still as accurate as all these high-end professional systems. And we took about 2 years of R&D and ended up linking up with Rhapsido, who was on a completely parallel path with us. And we were hey, let's just do this together. You guys have the engineering experience. We have what it takes to make a successful launch monitor experience. and
because that's
work
when they
together.
started too, was around the same time, right? Like 2012, 11, somewhere around there.
That's right. Yep. So we worked together for about 2 years getting this thing ready, and then in 2014, that's when SkyTrak came out.
Because Rapsodo didn't come out with anything. Well, they had baseball stuff, and they also had the camera thing for like their cage.
That's right.
Whatever, for golf, but they didn't have like a portable unit until the original Rapsodo came out. I think, was it 18, 19?
Yeah. The MO,
so the original SkyTrak came out what year? 2012?
2014.
2014.
Yep.
But that was like so revolutionary at that point, right? Because like nobody had anything like this, and they had also the capability to do simulation stuff or like plug in other software or have a simulator. Like that was like when I feel like that was the first step, right, to where we're at right now in terms of what the technology is at. That was the first major breakthrough, I think, for people to afford a sim in their house that's pretty accurate.
Absolutely.
Like without some camera system above your head or some lasers and shit like that. Like,
yeah, it's pretty easy. Just put the ball on the dot and hit it. You don't have to adjust the lighting and anything like that.
So then, what was the initial response? Like, do you remember like when SkyTrak came out? When people were like, "Holy crap!"
So when we released it, it did not launch with like its our own course simulation in the software. So I think a lot of people were expecting that. Everybody loved that it was so portable, easy to use. And so that's when we started gathering these really great simulation partners that we have: True Golf, TGC, WGT, Creative Golf. And
like you guys get really good at what you're doing. Like, we're really good at this, but we don't want to go down this other road and start creating like our own, simulator.
That's right.
Software.
Yeah, it's like these people are really great at creating their own simulation software. Like, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. Let's partner with them and give customers something quicker and probably cheaper than we could do it. So I think simulation has been like the ratio of customers that are using it for like professional instruction or improvement and simulation has kind of gone like this. So I think ramping up to COVID, simulation was just like slowly growing. And as soon as COVID hit, it just exploded because everybody's like, I'm going to be stuck at home for an indefinite period of time. I'm going to sit and play golf in my basement. Yeah.
I had a guy on my show once who was telling me that like he's from Australia, right? And he like he got stuck in India, right? When like he was the number one retailer, right, for simulator stuff in Australia. He was in India, and then COVID happened, and he told me that like when that happened, he's like, holy crap. So he like the next day, like not the next day, like right away, he bought out everybody's inventory, all of his competitors. He just bought all the inventory, everything. So he was the only person in Australia that had everything, like the sim, all the pieces, like everything. I was like, oh my God, you're so smart. Because like that was right before the market like exploded. Because he realized at the airport when he was stuck in India, like, holy crap, this is legit. Like, this could be forever. I was like, oh my God. So I would agree, like, writing content and doing content on like launch monitors, like even 2018, 2019, like it was like real hit or miss. Like, I mean, like you could do it, but like most people were like, what's a launch monitor? Oh yeah, I can't afford that. Like that was the next thing. So it was almost like, and I really think, like my first taste was Rapsodo in 2019 is when I did the Rapsodo, 2020. And I was like, whoa, this is cool. And that was all based off your phone. So I mean, I think like, and I think what's cool about SkyTrak is that you brought, I don't know, like there was no quote unquote industry for it yet. Like there wasn't any, people weren't running simulators off their, iPad or their phone or whatever. And then SkyTrak was the first really to do it with a computer and have integration with everybody else who has. I mean, that's one thing. I know people will make comments like, I'm like, oh yeah, SkyTrak has 100,000 golf courses. Like, well, that's not technically true. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Like, add them all up. But it's like you have capability of everybody, and a lot of your competitors don't have that. They have like, oh, we have E6 Connect, or we have, I don't know, Awesome Golf, which is not really like that thing, so it's different. But I feel like you guys are in a really special place in that regard because you can do both. You're launch monitor, but then also like you're now an affordable simulator that really is a simulator, not like, oh, we're a launch monitor that has simulator capabilities. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when was like, so I learned a bunch of stuff about SkyTrak lately. So let me ask you these questions. So I didn't know this, right? So like I had a call yesterday with somebody. Who was it? Who makes the other launch monitors? Not Sky Golf. What's it called?
Flight Scope, Foresight.
Darn it. Hold on. I had to call somebody and they were like, oh yeah, we were an original investor with the SkyTrak. And hold on, I'll look at my schedule yesterday. I'll tell you what it was. Sky Golf. I was right.
Oh,
all right, so
yeah,
Sky Golf. Yeah. I don't know why. Too many Sky things going on today. My head's like So I didn't know this though, but like Sky Golf said that they were an original investor with SkyTrak, and I was like, really? I didn't know that. Or the original owner or half ownership.
Yeah. So what happened? This is like around the time when we were just getting linked up with Rhapsody. Yeah. To have Rhapsody do the engineering portion, and we were like, oh, we have the brains to make and help R&D a successful launch monitor, but we have no connections and no experience with direct to consumer and with the big box stores. And just like how Rhapsody kind of fell into our lap, Sky Golf did also, because they were the leading golf technology consumer company. They sell like the Sky Caddy and the watches.
This is the beginning. Like I didn't know that either. That's why I love talking to these brands, because I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Like they were like the OG to direct to consumer. I was like, whoa. I don't know. I think it's so cool.
Yep.
Anyway, sorry.
So we no, all good. We kind of handled the product side and then lead on them for the marketing and the sales side, because they had years of proven experience with that. So we were 50-50.
So like they own like, so like where I'm going with this question is like, so I didn't know this, but like in case the audience doesn't know this either, like GolfTEC is now the owner of SkyTrak, which is really cool. We'll talk about that in a second. But like, I didn't know that like there was other ownership that had sold the GolfTEC, and that's kind of where I'm going with that question. I was like, oh, I didn't know that, because now is GolfTEC the main company that owns SkyTrak? Like, it's the only company that owns SkyTrak, right? There's no like halvesies like there was before.
Exactly. Yep, we're all under GolfTEC umbrella.
So I learned that yesterday on a phone call. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Tomorrow. So like that's a big deal, because like first of all, like GolfTEC coming into this space, like that's huge, right? Like people don't understand how big GolfTEC is and like what their vision is, right? Because I don't know, I just think that's a big deal.
Absolutely.
So what's it been like? So when did GolfTEC take over or merge?
I think the official date was like September 1st of 2022.
Because like, I didn't even know that. Like, so when was SkyTrak ST Plus, like when did the development start on that? Because like nobody knew about it. Like nobody. I
can't believe we've kept that a secret for that long.
Like for real, dude. Like that's crazy.
I know that there was talk of releasing it at the 2019 PGA show.
It would have made a killing. So ST Plus, when did development start? Like when did you first see the ST Plus? Like 18?
Yeah, it was probably 18.
But you guys, what do you think made the development be so long, or the release to be so long? COVID and building the right product, or like what?
Yeah, a number of factors. So COVID, parts availability was a big factor. Another one was the potential deal transitioning from Sky Golf over to GolfTEC.
Yeah, merger and acquisition of a huge company. And
so if that's going to happen, do we really want to release a product before that happens? And the answer
I would have, and then it made me more money. But it could tank. They're like, oh no, we'll just leave it the way it is.
Yeah, exactly.
But plus, GolfTEC might want to do something different, right? If they're buying it, they might be like, oh, we want to do this other thing, and if they don't control the company yet, then
Exactly. And that's the third component is obviously a lot of new competitors entering the market space in that price point. And so really wanted to take our time and make sure everything was done right, that it's
you want
solid.
a really good product because you're like, you have one shot at this. And if you blow it, then you just lost 3 or 4 years of production. And
exactly. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can tell you right now, we were talking before the show started, and I'm like, I told Jordan, because Jordan's a community manager, I was like, dude, I had this thing for like 2-3 weeks, and like I didn't have issues. Like, you know, the only issue I had was I had to use my laptop because that was only software that was available pre-release, right? So like, and that's not an issue. I just had to figure out how to use it. But like, I wasn't having any issues. I know people were having issues probably. I don't know. I never had any issues. Like everything worked fine. I didn't have any disconnection issues. I didn't have like overheating issues. You know, I wasn't having like skewed data, right? Like all over the place. Like, I mean, usually you see a lot of that. So I was like, that's a big kudos because you don't really, that's hard to do, right? You'll always find something. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know. I think a lot of people didn't know the SD Plus was coming out. And I think like this is the big, I don't know. I feel like this year's gonna be a really big year for a SkyTrak. I really do, because you guys, your product is like legit. And I'm not just saying that because you're on the show. Like it is. Like honestly, I mean, the only issue I have with it right now is I don't have mine right now. I had to give it back. But Jordan's working on that.
Yeah, we'll get yours shortly.
I can't wait to use it. Like seriously, because like you understand, like this thing has so much. Like I don't know, people. I have a lot of YouTube videos on the product right now, but like, and I only scratched the surface, like comparing it to like its competitors in the same price point. But I mean, right now at release, like how many, like what does it integrate with? Like what softwares, what can it do? Like you kind of talk to the audience about that so people understand like the power of this unit.
That's what we're working on right now. It's just rolling out updates with SDK for all of our simulation partners. So the big ones, Creative Golf, WGT, E6. I know E6 just launched last week. TGC, I think, is set to launch tomorrow. Creative Golf is launched, and I think WGT is the only one that we're still not live with for SkyTrak Plus, but that should be coming very soon.
So like in the next like month, would you say that most of the integrations would be in place working? I mean, it could be
the next week.
See, that's huge, right? We actually had the same conversation a minute ago. Like Rapsodo just released E6 like 3 days ago. And I mean, we all knew it was coming, but I mean that they dropped it 3 months ago or 2 months ago. So it's like, this has only been out for what? I was asking Jordan because every day is a blur to me, but Thursday, you know, they released it Thursday was the actual drop date. And like they already have full integrations like within a week. That's crazy.
Basically, like, we launched last Thursday.
All right, so I have a question from a listener who's on right now, or I guess he's a listener, a watcher. I don't know what you call it. So MB wants to know, how far behind are you on delivering right now? Because they said they were delivering on the 1st of June, but they're still waiting to hear. Like, do you know, like, do you know anything about that? I don't know.
Delivery, we do a first come, first serve basis, depending on where you're located. If you're in the US, depending on your pre-order date, they'll be receiving an email with tracking information. So, we're working hard on getting all these orders fulfilled.
I bet you guys got a lot of orders, right?
I'll tell you, the warehouse is doing nothing but shipping out SkyTrak Pluses right now. So there's a lot of orders.
Like, I know you guys are like teeing this all up and everything. So how many like third-party retailers are there that are selling this SkyTrak, and how many, you know what I'm saying? Like, is there a lot? Everyone's selling it right now, and then you guys are selling it on your guys' site too? Or okay. Now, international, they all like been shipped out, I'm assuming, for all these, not you guys doing it, but I'm assuming all the distributors probably have theirs in their own countries at this point, right?
I think right now Europe is the only international so far.
Oh, really?
And Canada, if you count that.
But not like Australia or anything like that.
Not yet.
Ha ha ha. That's a joke to one of my friends. That's a joke to David Maxfield. Because we were joking about that last week, him and I, about that. He's like, we don't even have it in Australia. And I'm like, yeah, bro, but you got the Rapsodo before I did. I don't even know how that even happened. So what I mean, were you guys expecting this? I don't know, frenzy, fanfare. I don't know what the word is. Like when I was, but
I think so.
maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's been building for years. So
Yeah, like I started in 2018, and when I started, there was already people asking, we love the OG, but when's the next iteration coming out? So as the years passed, and we've been working on this product, we knew that once we officially launched this thing, once we officially launched SkyTrak Plus, the market's going to be crazy because OG was such a success. And now we're excited for everybody to get the actual SkyTrak Plus in their hands to see all of its capabilities and all of its functions.
So like when I did my initial review, like the initial like on launch date, right, or whatever announcement day, I did a review, an overview, and I hit some shots or whatever. So I did a bunch of research on SkyTrak just to learn the history on it and whatever. But like I don't think people realize this, but the SkyTrak is this is the most selling launch monitor of all time, right? By like a lot.
We have over 70,000 units in the field. I think we're probably close to 73, 74. I think we're around that range now. So yeah, we have several units.
I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot. Are you guys gonna phase out then the original SkyTrak over time, or what's the deal with that?
To.
Yeah, why would it? Still works, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why would you do that? Yeah. So then what, I guess for people out there, what's the biggest difference between the SkyTrak Plus and the regular SkyTrak?
The biggest difference is it's faster shot to show, better outdoor performance, and the new club data interface you have with SkyTrak Plus. Since GolfTEC's bought us out, a lot of their Nick Clearwater, their director of instruction, and a lot of their guys that run the TQ team, their teaching quality team that teaches all of their GolfTEC coaches and center managers all across the United States. The TQ team and Nick really put it through its paces to get the club data as accurate as possible. And yeah, that's the biggest difference, because everybody, if you're really serious about improving your game, club data is necessary. And so we got into a good spot to where it's affordable and you're going to improve your game.
So I have another question. So this is really cool because I don't get a lot of questions on my podcast. This is the first time I've had this many questions in one podcast. So somebody asked, do you guys think that at any point that GS Pro will work with the ST Plus? Is there any, like, do you guys think that's something you guys would be working on, or you don't know?
I'm not sure how to answer that. I know
maybe
there's some legal stuff going on between TrackMan and GS Pro. So basically, GS Pro is using a hacked interface from what was left over from Perfect Golf, which was bought by TrackMan. And we were actually in discussions with GS Pro about integrating, and we're very, very close to it, and received advice from legal that it was not the path that we should be pursuing at this point. And so I think that is
on hold until they figure out their own stuff between them, not you guys.
That's right.
You would be open to using the software, but until they figure out their problems, you're not going to go down that road.
Correct.
Exactly. I mean, it's a great offering, but it's got to be done the right way, and it's got to be done the same partnership with them
seamlessly, and like
with our other simulation partners. Yeah,
because you have like so many simulation partners right now.
We do.
It's crazy. Like
we do.
No one else has that, right? I mean, that has that kind of capability.
Yeah, we got options for when people first want to get started to, people that want to spend. I think our most popular option is TGC 2019 and E6, and we have options for everybody in every budget.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So, like, what are the options? So, like, what does the ST Plus sell for? First of all,
$29.95.
$29.95. Okay. So then, what do you get at that price point?
So $29.99, you get access. So we got 3 different packages. You got the basic package, the game improvement, and the plane approved. Basic package just gets you access to just the SkyTrak range. The game improvement gets you access to the entire SkyTrak app, and the PIP, the plane approved package, gets you access to WGT World Golf Tour, which is about 15 or last time I checked, I think it's 15 or 17 courses, major championship venues from St. Andrews to Torrey Pines to Pebble Beach, and you get access to that in that package as well. And then if you want to add on to E6 or TGC Creative Golf or another offering called Golfissimo from Creative Golf, you can add on to that as well.
So it's a la carte, really, right? Like you have your base packages, but then if you want like this thing over here, you can add that thing.
Yeah.
Like, let me ask this question. I don't really know. Like, are you paying? Not you, but as a consumer, are you paying for like an E6 license key? You know what I mean? Like I know like E6 has the basic, right, which is like the driving range and like 3 courses or something like that, or whatever it is. Is that what it is? Like you have your own, the consumer will have its own relationship with each of those companies to use that software, I guess. You're just the highway to make it work, right? Or to access it, I guess, that's a better way of saying.
Yes,
exactly.
No, that's cool. So one question I have then is what do you guys see is the biggest, differentiator between you and the other price point items? Because I mean, I know it's a very basic question, but like right now you're at $3,000. This is called $3,000. So you're at $3,000, but really it's like, let's look at pricing. Your biggest competitor is who at $3,000? Would you say? You think of the Mevo Plus? I meant to think it's $3,000. I can think
Mevo Plus and
Bushnell Launch Pro.
Mm-hmm.
But Bushnell dropped the price, right? Because they were at like 4,000 or whatever, and then they dropped the price a lot, and then they like, I know, but they have a subscription model on theirs too. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't have one. I just know from what I've read.
Yeah.
So like for the audience out there, the best we can look at is like this, right? Pricing. If you're trying to put together a simulator, all right. So for $5,000, what can you get for $5,000? You can get the swing kit, right? The full swing kit. It's pretty cool, but it's $5,000. Mm-hmm. I know some like, and then below that you have the Bushnell, which is like at 4, maybe at 3 now. I'm not sure what it's at. Or you have the Mevo Plus, which is now at 3. So I mean, you guys are we've been talking about this. Is you're kind of in a sweet spot because like you have you got super high end units, but I'm not even talking about that, right? Over $5,000. Yeah. But like $5,000 and below, and then it's like you have these big swings, right? Like $1,000 to $4,000. You know, $3,000. But then it's like after ST Plus, it's like who? In my mind, the only person I think you're really competing with is the Flight School Mevo Plus, like at that price point, and that's the plus. And honestly, it just depends on where you want to use the unit, right? If it's going to be an outdoor unit or if it's going to be an indoor unit. I know you use both a lot, indoor and outdoor, but like kind of the functionality, the simulator system. Mm-hmm. The reason why I like the ST Plus so much is because you can like literally put it in your garage. This is what I love about ST Plus. I'll tell you. First of all, it's not behind you, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't need all that real estate behind you. You don't need all that real estate in front of you either, right? So if you have a confined space, it's awesome. Then because you put it right on the floor next to you, and then you can use it right from there. So I guess back to my question then, what is the biggest competitor in your mind? Price point, not anything else.
Same like Mevo Plus or Bushnell Launch Pro. And I think what we've always done since the inception of SkyTrak is to kind of look at the competition and find that sweet spot, which for us, I think is accessibility. So like SkyTrak has something for the guy that shoots 110 and SkyTrak has something for a scratch golfer. And we did a lot of taking a look at the high-end launch model, like TrackMan. Like TrackMan's awesome. We don't even consider TrackMan a competitor.
No, it's like a super, 100%.
Yeah, they do what they do great. And on the flip side, you have
or a GC quad, right? Or a GC3.
Yeah.
It's like we know it's accurate as hell, but you can't plug a GC. Like I guess you could technically, but like you could. Yeah, I don't know. It's different. It's different.
But there's not a 40 handicap that's buying a GC Quad or a TrackMan. Just like there's not a lot of scratch golfers that are buying a $500 piece of equipment too. So what we did is find that sweet spot that people could afford, and also try to figure.
It gives you literally everything you need. That's what I think.
Yeah,
that
and
spot,
so
like it's perfect.
Yep, and we did a lot of trimming too. So we took like the high end stuff, and it's like, if you look at the amount of data that they provide people, it can get overloading like really quickly, especially it's like to the layperson. And so
like too much.
We did a lot of like,
you gotta dumb it
what
down.
do people
like?
Yes. So to avoid like that data overload, it's like, what do people really care about? How can we keep the user interface and user experience like super simple that anybody can use it? And the biggest thing is like offer stuff that nobody else is offering. Like it's really easy to be like, oh, well, Foresight offers impact location. All right, let's offer impact location. But it's cool to be able to roll out stuff like wedge matrix or bag mapping, like stuff that nobody else is offering.
And I think another thing that really separates us is what we launched this week is the bundle package. A lot of our consumers and customers, they want to have, a one-stop shop
out the
for
door.
everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we just launched our new bundle packages on our website, and you can get basically everything from projector to an entire setup for just under $7,000. So, I mean, that's mats, enclosure, that's everything. So you don't have to go out and buy one DIY. And so it's all right there, ready to go for you. And plus,
that's what the market is. I feel like, there's nobody wants to go. Like you can get a sim in a box for $10,000. Like that's too much money in my opinion. Like honestly, like you can, I mean, that's a good deal. If you just want to do it.
And I think another thing that separates us is now, since GolfTEC's acquired us, I mean, they're the number one employer of PGA professionals, golf company wise. So they're going to incorporate all of their stuff that they've learned over the years. They're teaching their technology and incorporate it with us. So, I mean, it was a perfect marriage. You got the number one consumer launch monitor company, and you got the number one leader in golf instruction combining into one. So,
and they have a lot of retail locations.
Oh yeah.
Tons of them.
So the future is going to be pretty awesome for SkyTrak Plus and everybody involved.
Yeah, I mean, I think SkyTrak Plus, like I didn't know it was coming out. I got a pre-release unit from a third-party retailer. Thank you to playbetter.com for that. I was able to do a bunch of content on it. And I was blown away because nobody knew that it was coming. I didn't know it was coming out. I had no idea. And I think in the next couple of months, you have a lot more units coming out too. I know Golf Zone has something, I think, and didn't Sky Caddy or String Caddy or somebody did something. I don't know. I saw a bunch of at the PGA show, which, people are going to be starting to come out with stuff. I was thinking Garmin was going to come out with something this year, but I guess they didn't. But there's a bunch of new products coming out, and it's cool that you guys got yours out before summer, before Father's Day. And it's kind of cool to see like all this stuff, honestly. Just to see what the future has for SkyTrak Plus is going to be pretty big, I think.
Yeah, like I said, when I first started, I was here since we had multiple iterations of what SkyTrak Plus would be. So it was kind of cool to see what it was like from its I would call infant stages to what it is now. And it's pretty impressive, to be along this journey, to see it grow and develop and to see what it is now. And overall, there's been a lot of positive feedback from SkyTrak Plus being out on the market, which is obviously what we wanted.
So somebody just commented they pre-ordered mine and they just got theirs 30 minutes ago. So they're super excited.
That's awesome. Yeah, I hope you like it.
And then I got somebody else saying they want me to do a video once I get mine on the iPad, because I did everything on the computer just to see how all that works with the iPad.
Okay. I think iPad's easy to set up. It's nothing's changed between how OG works to SkyTrak Plus. Now it's the same way of connection, the same way of setting up. You don't have to lug around a big PC or anything anywhere. You can use your iPhone. You can use an Android device. You can use your iPad. Just accessibility and ease of use. Especially if you don't want to spend bukus of money on a gaming PC. The only time you really need a PC is if you want to run TGC 2019 Creative Golf or E6, but E6 also has an option for iOS. So if you just want your iPad, there you go. Just you can use E6 with you can use E6 with an iOS device, and you don't need to spend. I mean, gaming computers can get very expensive, so you're saving a lot of money, and you can still get all the benefits and features through the app and with our simulation part offerings as well.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest differentiators too. But with SkyTrak Plus versus SkyTrak is with SkyTrak, we're kind of dependent on what device you're connecting to analyze the shot. And so like if you're on an older iPad or older or cheaper computer, then your shot to show delay could be 5, 6, 7 seconds. SkyTrak Plus, all that happens on board. So SkyTrak Plus is just sending the data to the computer. So the shot to show is the same if you're using, an iPad Air 2 from 8 years ago or one of the brand new iPad Pros today.
Oh, really? So it does so it does show. That's crazy. I mean, it's cool that like so much is coming out, like with the software, the capability. I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised. Like they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is awesome." Because I think it's a real game changer this year. I think that like, I don't know. I think this is gonna be a big year for SkyTrak. I think it'll sell a lot of units, honestly, because it's affordable. I mean,
a lot of people love the new interface. What it looks like, it's modern, it's clean, and obviously club data. Everybody wants to know. It's their whole dynamic of field versus real. I know a lot of us, we were talking about this off air, guessing at yardages, or I really felt like I was swinging inside to out on that. Well, you remove all the guesswork with SkyTrak Plus. You get that real time feedback. You can know, well, I felt like I swung into inside to out on this shot. Oh, well, it showed me outside to in. I guess I didn't swing it out, get the club path outside to in. So you get that immediate feedback. And, we're going to improve your game using SkyTrak Plus. And that's what we want. We want people to have fun with their buddies, enjoy the golf simulator experience, but also improve your game as well.
It's the future, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think like you guys have a unit that's affordable that literally does everything everybody wants it to do. I mean, it's just like, that's it. I mean,
I feel like our mission all along has been get better without realizing you're getting better. Practice without realizing you're practicing, basically.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I was telling Jordan for the show, like, what was it? The swing? Which one? The wedge matrix? Which one was I talking about? Skill assessment?
Where it, like,
like it just, it's like, it was actually fun. Like, I'm not just saying that. Like, it was actually, when I was done, I was like, that was pretty fun. Like, and you would just spend 25 minutes hitting chip shots, or something. Like, when would that ever be fun? Like,
exactly.
So I don't know. I think you have a really special place right now. I'm excited to like see what happens this year with you guys. Cause I think like, I don't know. I think nobody knew it was coming out and it was out. And you're like, whoa. How'd you guys?
I can't believe we kept that a secret that long. I've been wearing this shirt around.
Yeah.
What is this? This is SkyTrak Plus on the sleeve for months.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. It's like, what is that? You're like, oh, it's just an energy drink.
Exactly.
Well, I really appreciate working with SkyTrak. Like I said, you guys make a phenomenal unit. If people want to pre-order or not pre-order, I guess maybe I made pre-order. I have no idea. If they want to order a SkyTrak Plus, like where can people find the SkyTrak Plus? Where can people find more information about it?
Yeah, you can go to
SkyTrakGolf.com.
Yep. And right on the homepage where you see Launch Monitor, you'll see the brand new SkyTrak Plus. And if they're interested in the new all-in-one stop and shop for the bundles, just go to the shop icon on the very right hand of the screen, and there you can look at all of our accessories and bundles that we have available as well.
It's smart. You guys bundled it. It just makes it easy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people just DIY'd it, and that could take time, and then people might not have what you're looking for. Then you're going to spend even more money trying to find something that you want. So we said it'd be just a perfect place just to have everything all in one at a price point that's very, very, enticing and affordable. So yeah, it was a no-brainer for us.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it. You guys got to check out the SkyTrak Plus. It's legit. I've done like 12 videos on it.
Paul, thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thank you so much, Paul.
And if you guys ever have questions, Jordan's the man. The community manager.
Yep. If you have questions, just send it my way.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.